everyone, I'm Michelle Kelly. Welcome to Be in the Change. I'm going to get started with my inspiration that I have learned how to recite, by the way. Our deepest fear is not that we're inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. It is our light, not our darkness, which most frightens us. We ask ourselves, who am I to be brilliant, gorgeous, talented, and fabulous? Actually, who are you not to be? You are a child of God. Your playing small does not serve the world. There is nothing enlightened about shrinking so that other people will not feel insecure around you. We are all meant to shine as children do. We were born to make manifest the glory of God that is within us. It is not just in some of us, it is in everyone. And as we let our own light shine, we unconsciously give others permission to do the same. As we are liberated from our own fear, our presence automatically liberates others. Marianne Williamson. I'd like to say welcome to everybody who's watching me for the first time, and welcome back to everybody who's been watching me. And I invite you to go back and watch, if you haven't seen my videos before, my previous videos. They're on YouTube, they're on Instagram TV, they're on Twitter, and they're on Facebook. And I started this in 2019 as my New Year's resolution, and I am keeping it up. And last week, if you got a chance to catch my video, I talked about how I learn and that I'm creative and I didn't learn like everybody else. And one of the things that happened to me growing up was I'm a visual learner. I learn by seeing and by hearing. And the one thing that happened to me that I didn't know when I was younger, besides I was creative and I didn't learn, I had a problem with comprehension, was I had hearing loss. And they didn't figure out that I had hearing loss and major ear problems until I was in third grade. So in third grade, I got tubes in my ears and I started to be able to hear, but I missed a lot of the important time growing up, like when you're most impressionable and you learn the most. My hearing was off and nobody ever knew that. And I didn't know that either because, my normal was my normal. So last week I talked about I always grew up thinking I wasn't that smart, and I learned by seeing and by hearing, and I couldn't hear. So it's so funny, as I get older, I learn more by hearing because I can't see anymore. I'm losing my vision. I'm getting older. I have to wear glasses, and I don't need them all the time, but I'm starting to need them more and more. And it's so funny. The one thing that's been on my mind is, I don't know if you guys have ever heard the expression, do you want to be right or do you want to be happy? And I always thought, if I am right, I am happy. And I need things explained to me in a visual, because a lot of times, like when I heard that expression, do you want to be right or do you want to be happy? What does that mean? Well, it means when I'm right, I am happy, but not necessarily. So I have dissected things down, how I understand it and how I can explain it is, if you've done me wrong and I think you're an asshole, I have to go back and let you know that you're an asshole. And I go out of my way to let you know that I'm right and you're wrong, which, guess what? Turns me into the asshole. So being able to let things go and know when to do that is something that I've struggled with, because every time I've always felt like I needed to prove things to people, like that I'm smart, or that certain things, if you say they don't happen and they did happen, and I have to let you know that I know that they happened. So what I've been finding out about myself is that I don't need to be an asshole anymore, which I have been, which I never thought I was, by the way. But letting people know when they're wrong and then them not receiving that information from me, and then me spending the energy to go back to let them know. I don't need to do that. And so what, for me, I need to do is when I'm in a situation, sometimes my reaction, a lot of times, my reaction doesn't match the actual event that's going on. It goes back to things that have happened to me years ago, and it comes out in a small thing. Like, I'm going to give you guys the example, and this is what I've struggled with. I needed to get new glasses, and I went to the eye doctor, and I decided to keep my frames and get new lenses because it was less expensive, and I'm not working right now. And I went to get my new glasses, my new lenses, and I got my glasses back, and they're not the same glasses that I dropped off. And they keep insisting that yes, they are. And I know they're not. And I had to go back there and let them know. And they will not acknowledge that these are not my glasses. And I can't change them, but what I can change is how I react and how I respond. And there's a big part of me that wants to go back there and prove them wrong and be like, screw you. I'm right, you're wrong. And what I need to do is examine myself and my part. And I called a really good friend today, and she gave me the best information possible. I don't feel safe going back to the doctor's office. They did not treat me well when I let them know that these aren't mine, and they insist that they are. She suggested that I call the insurance company and let them know what has happened, and that I'm having a problem with my glasses. The one eye I can't see out of, it's blurry. I need to go to have that fixed. So she suggested that I call the insurance company and let them know. So there is something that I can do, and I don't have to go back there, and I don't need to prove that I'm right and they're wrong. I need to get the situation fixed and be well. And so I am learning this stuff for the first time in my life. Instead of going back and proving that I think you're an asshole, it turns me into one, which I'm trying not to be. So thank you for everyone who's watching and continuing to watch. And I'm so glad I'm on this journey with all of you. And I need people. I need people to help me. And I am best when I'm around others. And trying to acknowledge and think that I can do everything on my own is something that has gotten me into a lot of trouble over my life. So I need support, and this is how I'm doing it. So stay tuned, and I will see you all next week.